Welcome back to Dream and another edition of Time Attack Diaries. We're in the 6-week lull period between rounds, so we last visited Brands Hatch and we're yet to get to Snetterton in 2 weeks' time. But David's car's back with us this week, predominantly for some brake upgrades. We'll get the car on the ramp, start getting stripped down and see what we've got to install. David's car's now off the ramp, we've had the brakes installed and we've dialed in a little bit more camber into the setup. So the brakes, they're 380mm disc with AP calipers, and if you're considering any brake upgrades, particularly track focused for your FK8 or FK2, even FL5 for that instance, this really is the way to go. We've had plenty of customers go through changing different discs, pads and trying different combinations, but if you want to cut your losses and get straight to performance brakes, these are the ones to go for. Suspension wise, we've adjusted Dave's setup this week, so we've dialed in a little bit of extra camber so we can corner that bit harder. So on the front we've now got 3 degrees of camber across the front tyres, 2 degrees of camber on the rear and pretty much a straight toe all round. So that'll give a really good feedback for Dave. He can corner hard and the rear end will be quite nice and loose for when he's in the corners and quite predictable of where it's going to be going. Hopefully he can make the most of it, so we look forward to catching up with Dan, Nick and David back at Snetterton this weekend. Let's get ourselves to the track. We're here at Snetterton on what looks to be a pretty overcast day. We'll have our fingers crossed that the rain holds off for the rest of the day. But as you'll hear, the car's already out on track covering their warm-up sessions. So we'll get over to the pits now, catch up with the drivers, as there's been a 6-week period between the last round and where we are today. Let's go and have a look.
How's it going, guys? So we are here for round 4 at Time Attack. So we've been out for practice. Got a kind of lay of the land. My first time here doing not only Snetterton but the 300 anyway. So all I've got at the moment behind me is sims, which I'll tell you, this place is definitely a bit different from on a sim, but it's a really fun track. Lots of different stuff, slow speed, high speed. Change-wise, we've redone some of the geometry on the car and the car feels way better, really nice balancing the car at the moment. So really it's just a case of me kind of finding my feet and getting sort of my lines right and sort of following a few of the other guys that maybe have a bit more experience and trying to kind of get the lay of the land. But other than that, car's running amazing, everybody's doing amazing, so let's get into attack 1.
We're back, we're at Snetterton and we're just coming off practice. I had a couple of changes to the car since your last time you saw me at Donington Park. We've had a big brake kit put on the front, Alcon brakes, discs with some AP Racing calipers over the top. I have to say the difference is night and day. Good grief, can this car stop now? Hopefully that pays off and you're able to see it in the lap times. We've just been out on practice, I've set a 2:17, so if we can get it down a couple more seconds to around the 2:15 range, we'll be golden. Similar to Nick, I'm going to try and find somebody who knows way more than I do about this circuit. Hopefully get into that draft, pick up a toe down the straights, and hopefully we can make some magic happen today, because we're going out for attack 1.
Hi guys, welcome back. Today we are at Snetterton and despite it being overcast, it's actually really warm, but not too warm compared to Brands anyway. Brands was absolutely boiling. So Snetterton had a lovely 6 weeks break. Not much has changed with the car. The only thing I've changed is, I alluded to it in the previous video, I've changed from K-Tuner to Honda. Got it mapped by Paul West the other week. So from a power point of view, it is making a little bit more power, but that's also due to the map as well, and what we dialed the K-Tuner down a little bit for reliability. With the Honda, I've asked Paul to send it to the moon. And that's exactly what he's done. Sent it to the moon, it's making strong numbers. So power-wise, it's a lot more than what it used to be. And I'm seeing a little bit of heat soak issues and stuff now on track, which I didn't see before. So certainly this afternoon, turn it up, should be good. So on to today. Didn't get off to the greatest starts. Warm up, did 3 laps, came in, checked the tyre pressures, and the guy said, end the session, Dan, you've picked up a screw and that's in the rear tyre. So checked it, it's right in the shoulder, can't do anything about it. Took the bolt out, and yeah, that was 1 over, 3 laps. Fun and games. On to attack 1. So currently sitting P1 in Championship, knowing that full well I'm trying to chase Annie in a Lotus, and I know Clive in the Golf is going to be very, very quick around here as well. No need to go all out. Sadly, I'm still 3 seconds off them guys, so certainly this afternoon going into attack 2 and 3, well, attack 2 and super final attack, I need to get my foot down. That's the plan. Fresh set of tyres on, and I'm going to send it this afternoon. Hopefully there'll be no onboard footage of me going grass cutting, finding the gravel, so I apologise, there'll be no thumbnail or any extracurricular track activities that you guys will see. So I apologise in advance for boring footage. Thank you.
Attack 1 and 2 out the way, and all the cars have been performing quite nicely. Dan's getting to grips with his newfound power this weekend and the couple of changes that he's made over the short break. David is really making the most of his brakes and driving the car so hard this weekend. You can see by his lap times just reducing, that he's pushing those brakes to the absolute maximum. For Nick, he's got into grips with the car, although we've had a little bit of trouble on the last back corner. It's a big sweeping right-hander, and as he transitions back to the left, we're getting a little bit of oil surge and the pressure's dropping slightly. So for this final round, we've overfilled the oil to compensate for that oil pressure drop. Hopefully that's going to cover us off and Nick can get in a good push lap. We're hoping that we can get some points back on the board this weekend and get closer to picking one of these up.
We're getting ready for the final attack. So we've got all of our issues that we've had earlier on in the day solved, sorted, so we'll be able to go out now and actually get a nice consistent lap. So we're going to try and gun for that top 10 spot and see if we can make some magic happen.
We've just finished attack 1 and attack 2, and my confidence in the braking system, the new braking system on the car is fantastic now. I'm so happy with how it's performing. It's enabled me to rotate into corners a lot better, and it's showing in the lap times. In practice I set a 2:17, round 1 I've set a 2:15, round 2 I've set a 2:13, so for going into super attack I'm hoping to get a 2:12.
Attack 2 went better than what I thought it was, beating my previous times. I'm now in the 2-minute 10s, which was my goal for today, to get into the 10s by 2 thousandths of a second, so I'm only just in there. So, went better than planned. Still a little bit more time in it, certainly more time in me. However, the last session was on some worn 295s. I do have a better set of 295s. Also as well, my Dixel pads are a little worn now, so I've just put some brake pad spacers in to give me a better brake feel and swapped to some better 295 tyres up front. All being well, I should go faster. However, as we all know, when on circuit racing, the weakest point of the car is usually the person behind the wheel, which is me. So we'll go out, we'll send it. So far, I've not got any onboard footage for you guys to watch, so it's very interesting. It's all very boring. However, I'm going to go out and send it. So if you see a thumbnail of a car in a barrier, upside down, in a gravel trap, I sent it too hard. So, see you soon.
On to the final round, super attack.
Now or never. Shred the tyres, kill the car. If it goes home steaming, it's okay as long as we get a good time. So everything into this one there.
David Frost in the Honda Civic, the FK, set a 2:13.8 in the closing moments, which for him is a personal best.
So, as you can tell, I'm slightly differently dressed. After what is a couple of years of really hard work, it's starting to pay off now. And at the awards ceremony at the end of time attack here at Snetterton, I've come away with fastest single round entry in class. So that gets me a nice bit of silverware and a fancy new hat. I'm over the moon. It's taken a lot of work to get to get this trophy today. Out of 4 rounds, I set 4 PBs, getting a little bit faster in every round, coming about 4 seconds quicker into the final round than we were this morning. I'm absolutely over the moon, and now we just got to see if we can repeat the same performance at Alton Park.
Okay, so that wraps up the day. Finished final attack, and we got over our issue with the oil starvation and sort of the oil sloshing in the pan. So overfilling, managed to keep everything safe. Obviously checking the numbers afterwards with everything's nice and healthy and fine. So for anyone who's running track days, a little bit of overfilling is definitely the secret sauce. So, but both me and David managed to get PBs today. I managed to get a 2:10, David with a 2:13. So we both, after not being here, neither of us have ever raced Snetterton at all. So to be able to come out with some really good times, I think we've done well. So, and also getting to the bottom of the issue. So it's a good day all round. Everybody's happy. Everybody goes home with cars in pieces and, not in pieces, sorry, in complete. And we are ready for round 5, which is at my local track, Alton Park. And I cannot wait to get to that one. So stay tuned and get ready for the next one.
I'm sorry to report, I sent it, but there's no video clips of any issues and whatever else, because there was no issues. I was just able to beat the previous PD. I now did a 2:10.2, I think it was, according to TSL. Sadly, still finished in position P3, but I think it was a 10th off P2. Absolutely more than made up with where I was compared to where I was at the start today. I think I was doing high 2:13s, 14s. So yeah, it's not 4 seconds off. I'm absolutely made up. Yeah, that's it from me. Nothing else to report. Car was mega. It's now 4 weeks to Alton Park. Alton Park, my local circuit I love. I feel I'm really confident at. So hopefully we'll get back on the top spot and get some lap records in the next round. Cheers, guys.
We're just getting packed up here after a successful day here at Snetterton. But as always, remember, hit the like, share and subscribe buttons. We've got some really exciting information to bring to you about next season and which driver's going to be competing in which classes. So as always, hit the like, share and subscribe, leave us a comment below, and we'll see you on the next one.